Okay, so your conclusion, that is for your reader to outline what you've accomplished, mentioning the interesting features. So essentially what you're doing is describing your findings, explaining how you solve them, and persuading the audience that your design is the best. You don't want to be repeating the solution or the problem or bringing in new information at this point. It's all old stuff. So it's like a summary. So the things that you might want to, so a sentence structure to help you structure your conclusion. So the objective of the task, or the aim of the task, was to design a garden bed. This was achieved by whatever you did. The total volume of the garden is for the garden beds is X amount. You might have something else. The total area is this amount. This is a percentage of, so the total area of which was this much space. So if you've got your total garden beds, that's going to give you an area. This is how much percentage of the total space that you have in your rectangle. To improve this task, you might state an improvement, or you might say that this was the best because of all the things that you did. So you might have, a summary of things that you did. So you considered all aspects of the task sheet, the requirements, or you might have considered the best because your percentage a value that you deem to be high enough of garden bed. Whatever the case is, you need to make a statement. You could also say what an improvement could be, like if this task was done again, but you really don't need to do that because if you're saying it's the best, that would be quite contradictory. So pick one, whatever you like to do. All right. So if we have a look here at our task sheet, our ISMG component, what we're going to look at is the 2 dot points here. So there's 2 aspects that are looked at your communication: correct use of appropriate mathematical, statistical, everyday language, and conventions to develop a response. So when you write in paragraphs, is your everyday language and developing a response. So convention is writing in a till paragraph. And then mathematical, so your appropriate mathematical is what we're looking for here is FSA, show working, everyday language paragraphs. We don't have so much though of the statistical information. You might consider like your, if you're doing percentage totals, that might help you with your statistics there to develop a response. Now, if you give us mathematical, everyday language, that means to develop a response. It just means that you are trying to attempt paragraphs or trying to attempt your FSA, but you might have done one of these, but not this one. So it's just if you're not hitting the mark quite there in terms of being consistent. Coherent and concise means that, we don't want to be waffling on. Coherent means that it makes sense. An organization of the response appropriate to genre. So this is where you have introduction, body, and conclusion, and read independently of the task sheet. That is why we've asked you to write an introduction where you put the context in your own words and state what the aim is, and why we're asking you to write a conclusion so that you can summarize this and follow the type of genre, which is a report, intro, body, and conclusion. So that I don't need a task sheet to read it, but I do need a task sheet to mark it. So, and then if you don't follow that and you just have something that resembles an organization, that would be considered adequate. So that's essentially it. This is your conclusion. There's a kind of summary paragraph that you could write, making sure that you put the appropriate information. Believe me, it's not going to be this long if you write it appropriately and fill in all these things adequately. And that brings you to your closing part of your assignment. There is also one more thing, the reference list. So if you've used anything to collect information, you can refer to them. So if you really want it to be authentic, my computer's decided that it wants to die, you might have gone to Bunnings and Bunnings researched on their website and found out how much it costs for soil or turf or pebbles or whatever. But if you did that, you want to put it on your reference list. You just use the appropriate APA referencing style. So make sure you've got your author, date, year, and all that stuff that goes along with it if you're collecting your information. All right, cool. That's it. Stay awesome. Thanks, everyone. Short and sweet. Bye.